You think you know me? Say I'm as cold-hearted as they come. You think I'm slowly.
What's up, Queerdos?
Oh my gosh, it's our first episode.
So excited.
Welcome to Pride House Podcast, everyone. We are so excited. I can't even contain it.
We've worked so long to get here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to
And it took a long time to set all this up, so that was fun.
Yeah.
it did.
We're just absolutely so happy that everyone is here. Let's introduce everyone. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm Garrett.
Hi, Garrett. My name's Kent.
What's up, everyone? My name is Mollee Gray.
Hi, I'm Jeka Jane.
Were we supposed to say our full names?
If you'd like
If
to.
you'd like to.
I'm not saying my last name.
His name is Kent Boyd, and my name is Garrett Clayton.
And we are
PridehouseLA, baby.
Wow, that was
So,
harmonized.
guys, PridehouseLA is a TikTok content queer content TikTok house.
That's right.
And we kind of just started over quarantine, right? Like we've all been friends for over a decade, but TikTok kind of became the cool thing when we were in quarantine. And
Yeah.
even though we look young, we're kind of old, as Kent calls us.
We are
Old.
We have some experience,
We're
which I think is good.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah.
I was very proud that on the marriage photo that people put up,
Yeah.
all the people were saying that I looked like I was 12, and I was like, oh my god,
Wait,
my
also,
skincare
you
is
guys,
working.
Garrett just got married like 3 days ago.
Wow, off the market.
Yeah, well, he's kind of been off the market. They've been together
Well,
for like a
officially
decade.
off the market.
But yeah, so we just kind of came together and started making TikToks and became this really kind of
Safe space.
safe space for a bunch of queeros, whether you're like part of the LGBTQIA community or you're just like a hard ally. Well, I guess that is the A. But we just kind of want to be somebody that represents every person and facet of human.
We just want to be an open, welcoming place where people feel like they're seen and they're heard. And
Yeah.
if you want to know more about a community that you're either not a part of or one that you are a part of, this is a safe space to learn more about that community and different walks of life. And we want to have guests from all over the place and make you feel like, there's no wrong question. It's important that you're asking it.
Yeah, and what you're gonna expect too is like we get pretty crazy, you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Especially this guy, especially Kent Boyd over here.
I mean, double hats over
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
No.
he keeps everything interesting, but we're gonna have so many fun guests lined up.
Yeah.
We know everyone.
We've got
in the
we
industry.
we have got an interesting perspective, and what bonds us all together is our queerness, and I think that's what's really cool.
And
We're-
something that also made us really excited during quarantine. Honestly, for anyone who's out there listening that might not know the origin, it was when the pandemic shut down. We got a hold of each other, and it was
What
when
year? 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was when
It was right before Pride Month.
Yeah.
we like lost that year.
And you couldn't have you literally were only allowed to have like 10 people in your bubble. And we all were texting and we're like, well, let's be creative and let's do stuff together. And
Yeah, we were losing. I remember at that specific time, I don't know about, we're all freelancers out in Los Angeles. So when the pandemic hit, it really kind of took us away from our teaching jobs or our gigs or our television shows or our music acts. So we kind of were left to just social media, this thing that we, kind of made fun of. And it kind of like was something that really kind of turned us away. But I think Mollee was kind of the person that kind of pulled us into TikTok. And we were like, yeah, what else are we going to do? This is the first time I'm actually going to be in the same spot for over a year. Like,
I actually have to give a shout out to my friend Ben Giroux, who
was on
He
TikTok.
told us that at your wedding.
yeah, he was
Told you
telling
to get
me
on it.
for
Yeah.
months in the
Yeah.
beginning of quarantine. And I was like, I just really want to like play Sims for 10 hours a day
Yeah.
and ignore the world. And he was like, man, and anyone who's listening, Ben Giroux is the toddler on Henry Dangerforce. And he's
I
been
love
like,
Henry.
he's a massive voice
His eyes
actor.
are beautiful.
Like,
His eyes are beautiful,
he's
like a
literally-
husky.
He's literally been voicing your favorite cartoons for years. And
For
it's
years.
crazy.
Yeah.
He's so
We did
talented.
an episode of Best Friends whenever together.
And
But he was saying that at the wedding. He said, I just remember, like, he was like, I, of course, obviously know all you, like, individually, but he's like, now Pride House is, like, this big thing. And I told Garrett that I get on TikTok, and that's
He
what
did.
Yeah. Which
So
and
listen.
Ty Riley, the owner of Streets Dance Convention, is the one who told me to get on it. And I was like, I'm not getting on TikTok. Like, he was like, it's
Because
the
they had
big
found
thing.
success. Yeah.
I always thought like TikTok
But
is
they're-
for like
yeah, 'cause they
kids.
were, like,
I was like, TikTok is for kids, and I was like,
Well, and look at us.
the more I
kids.
looked on it, I was like, I don't know about
We had a
that.
market for sure.
Well, and all of
Definitely.
us are eating our words, and we always joke about it too, because
Yeah.
we're like, well, we were stupid because we have so much fun doing it now.
Right.
Yeah.
But it
Well, and
is
I
better
think-
in a group. It
Yeah,
is
and
better
it's
in a
also
group.
like when you're like we're respected in the industry. We all have like acting and dancing careers. So they were like, why would you go on TikTok? And so we were kind of like trying to be
It's the new
We should talk
platform.
about it. We should let our listeners know like what we do besides just kind of be a part of Pride House, even though
Right.
that's
before
like the
we
coolest
became Pride House. What
thing.
were we before?
Exactly. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Garrett. Why don't you start?
Sure. So if you have seen me in things, it would probably be like Teen Beach 1 and 2, maybe
What?
Hairspray
What?
Live, The Fosters.
High School Musical, right?
I hear that every day. Maybe The Real O'Neills. I've done a
love
bunch
The
of
Real O'Neills.
stage stuff. Literally before the pandemic hit, I was doing all this concert singing. The Tony Awards hired me to sing for their after party. I sang at the Smithsonian. I was like doing all this like crazy theater. Over the quarantine, I actually won an award for being Pennywise in the It
That's right.
musical.
Hey, that's
And,
He likes
Go
horror.
Garrett. Go
Yeah.
Garrett.
Also, he was in one of my favorite movies, King Cobra.
He played a porn star. Chuck and I were watching it, and then there was a sex scene, and I was like,
We
I
saw
can't
Garrett's
watch Garrett.
And that was like, let's watch.
Oh my God.
You have a great butt.
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
We all do here.
I don't know.
Jeka, come
no,
on.
Chuck has a Filipino booty.
I have a very Asian butt. Not,
you got them
no
with
offense to.
calves.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
I was very proud to be hearing about how great my ass is at my own wedding multiple times.
Yeah.
On the
You do,
speeches,
yeah.
I was
Very
like,
good.
Alicia
Very
Silverstone.
It was
Yeah.
very.
But wait, let's jump over to Kent Boyd really quick. Kent Boyd. I mean, what do our listeners know you from? Can you
Okay,
just
cool. Well, I moved out to Los Angeles when I was 18. I've got, and you're kind of, you'll hear the little pockets of how I kind of met these people along the way. But I initially started out with the Fox reality dance competition show called So You Think You Can Dance.
Me too.
Yeah, and that's where I met Mollee. Mollee was on the season before season 6, and I was season 7. And that's what really
Wait,
kind of...
funny story. My mom tried to convince me we were on the same season. She was like,
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
are partners. And I was like, no, we weren't.
Okay, stop dreaming Thursday. That's her name.
And also, don't
probably
tell
had
me
a
what
dream.
I did.
Probably had a dream, and it was not reality. But yeah, so then that started my dance career, and I moved out to Los Angeles, and I started dancing for artists. I started touring, and then I started falling in love with obviously the choreography process and started choreographing, and then got to work with some really fun, amazing artists like Dua Lipa, Tove Lo, Naked and Famous, All Time Low. Like it was just like Becky G, just things would just come in and out. We are basically freelancers, and we're as good as the connections we have. So we're always
Wait, talk
networking.
about your show that you wrote.
Oh yeah. Then after Teen Beach, I also did Teen Beach. I did a little bit of acting as well too, but primarily dancing. And then we made a little behind the scenes of Teen Beach 2. You can still check it out on YouTube. And that turned into a Disney short form program called Free Period, where I actually used Mollee and Garrett in both of it. So kind of felt like a Pee Wee Herman, Amanda Bynes thing.
It was so funny.
It's always kind of kooky in my world, but I
It
really
was definitely
do.
the Amanda show.
Yeah, I love the Amanda show. I mean, that was just iconic for me growing up watching and kind of seeing that sketch reality. But yeah, I did a lot in front of the camera and then falling currently in love with just being anywhere where art is.
Yeah.
Mollee, what about you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm like very similar to both of them. Like I started off, so I grew up in Utah. I did like independent films there in commercials when I was 9, but my big break as far as like a career was I did all 3 High School Musicals. And I was a dancer in those. And Kenny Ortega really kind of took me under his wing, and he called me on set, called his agent, got me an agent. That's where I got my manager.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a
pretty
legend.
cool.
I love Kenny Ortega. He also like really started my career, like not started my career, but
Yeah.
he was why I
gets
wanted to be in the
invested.
If
career.
you don't
Yeah.
know who he is, you should definitely look him up.
Yeah,
and
not
see
just
like
High School Musicals.
Yeah,
Kenny
he's
Ortega is
so-
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He's a
started my
choreographer, too.
I would die to work with Kenny Ortega.
dancing. Yeah. He started my whole career, and then I did a couple other little things, but then I did So You Think season 6, which kind of really catapulted me. And it was ironic because our season was on this like weird season. It was in the summer, fall or something. I don't remember. But we didn't get a tour. So we were really bummed about it. But then it ended up being kind of a blessing because we
You got to
got
work
to
right
go-
away.
yeah,
Then you got to be in No Strings Attached with
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher.
So-
I remember seeing that and
wait,
being
let me-
so
I just
jealous.
watched it, but the night
I was
before
so
my wedding.
jealous.
really, so we
It's me.
I actually booked out as a dancer. And I've been taking
Marguerite
acting
Derricks?
classes. Yeah, Marguerite Derricks booked me as a dancer, and the director came in to watch rehearsals, and he pulled me aside, and he said, "Do you act?" And I said, "I do." And he gave me a scene, and he pulled me into his office the next day to do improv comedy with him, Ivan Reitman, which is like crazy. Like he's one of the biggest directors in the game. I did comedy improv with him and like all the producers and like the whole, it was crazy, Paramount, everything. And then I booked it, and all my acting scenes were with Ashton Kutcher. And my first day on set, I had like a scene, and I was so scared, and he could just tell. And he kind of had my back. He was great. So that was kind of like a leeway. I did team beach with Garrett and Kent, which was really awesome. And
that's how it works, you guys. All you aspiring dancers and actors out there, like it's really like continue listening, but you're gonna hear us kind of expose what really kind of happens behind the doors or like the opportunities that just kind of come out in front of us, and how you just have to be ready at a moment's notice. Okay, do you act? Okay, do you sing? Can you fill in here? And like that's the the kind of the industry that we're in.
Yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of hurry up and wait stories. That's like the main phrase in this industry is like, hurry up and wait. They're going to have you there at 7 a.m. so you can shoot at noon.
Yeah,
exactly. Maybe not even noon.
And then it's going to be then 6 it's canceled because they don't like the camera shot for the pyro in the back. And
I was once in hair and makeup for 14 hours, literally with like giant prosthetics across my face for a horror movie where I was supposed to have been beaten by a bat and like dead looking. And so I had to sit there, and I was there the entire night shoot. And they were like, oh, sorry, we didn't get to the shot.
Like, cool.
I love my life.
Anyway. This industry is great. We love it. You'll see, like, we'll talk about it more. That's just where I kind of got my start. I've done a bunch of other stuff now currently. And
they have a whole dance program. Her and Jeka have been married.
They're badasses.
Yeah, they're a power couple for surezies.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
So
I still like to act.
Oh, yeah.
Molly's going to have, she's for sure going to have an EGOT.
Yay.
That's
okay,
our goal. We're all
also,
gonna be
for those of you who are not familiar with who we are, Jeka and I are married, so don't try it with them.
Kiss, 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 kiss. Oh.
That was a sound that I made.
Where's not a real sound effect? Oh,
that sounded like a sound effect. That was pretty good.
You just made them
Humans,
kiss.
back off. Thanks.
Did you say humans back off?
Humans, back off.
But aliens are free game.
Yeah, well, because I'd probably have fun with an alien.
Oh my God. Am I just learning about Molly's sexual fantasies?
No more hard seltzers from Smirnoff for you.
No more hard seltzers for you. I think my story is slightly different. I grew up dancing on hip hop community teams, and that's kind of like where I feel like I got my start. And then I danced just doing that in like competitions called like Body Rock and
we did competitions.
Body Rock, Vibe.
Stuff.
Like there's like all these like it's like more like collegiate dance team stuff. I feel like that's
where at. What area?
I grew up in the Bay Area, and so like a lot of the competitions we did were here in Southern California, but we did a couple in NorCal. But then I moved to LA. Ooh, shoot.
You want to
10 years, 11 years ago? Shoot, I don't even remember. And I didn't work because there weren't a lot of jobs for people who were like me. So I think that was like a hard thing for me to understand, but I always just try to stay true to like who I was, regardless. And then all of a sudden, all these jobs started popping up for people like me. So I worked for Ariana Grande, which is probably my biggest music artist that I worked with, if anybody knows who she is.
You should talk about that was crazy for you.
I can't wait to hear about it.
When he got booked on it, and you were also going through something really tough too, and like mentally and trying to figure out what was going on, and then it was just like this crazy I don't know, like Ariana like made your career and you feel comfortable. Yeah, well, like I was taking Brian and Scott's class kind of religiously. They're Ariana's at Movement Lifestyle.
Oh, dope.
And so like I had saw that they had hired this girl named Lady Couture to dance with other men on a project in Japan or something like that. And it came up on my Instagram or something like that. And I was like, that's cool. Let me reach out to them and say like, hey, I saw that you guys did that. If you're interested in somebody who also, looks like me, then, and they were like, we're actually interested in doing more stuff with androgynous people. So I was like, cool. And and then they literally said like, you need to come to the audition. We were already in talks with your agency kind of thing. And I was like, cool, great. And I went, and it was at the time it was for me pre-transition. And I remember going to they were only hiring men for this tour. It was the Dangerous Women tour. And I remember standing in a sea of just all men wearing black. And I was like, this is literally changing my life. And this is literally changing in my house. Like, this is the moment that's like changing my world. Like, it's going to change worlds right now. Just because I was it was just me, like a solo person in like
and for
a
those
sea
who are
of exactly the
listening
same.
and don't know who we are, you can follow all of us on Instagram, especially Jeka. He's very like open about his transition and his updates and being proud of who he is and everything. So
yes.
And we're all very proud of him.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, Jeka and I have been together for 8 years, going on 8 years, and we dated pre-transition, and he, had just came out to me like 2 years ago. So like our story we put on YouTube and everything to kind of talk about it. But it was this moment with Brian Scott and Ariana Grande that he literally said to me, he was just like, I can work in this industry.
Yeah.
And
it
was
was major. Yeah. And after that, it was like all these things started, like, I feel like the more true I started being with myself, the more jobs, I think opportunities started to come about. Cause I think people were like more about like being inclusive and different and like also, so like then I booked a job dancing on a TV show called Transparent. And that was right when I came out too. And I remember being like, this is crazy. Like I just came out and it was the first time I was able to kind of say, hi, my name is Jeka. I use he, him pronouns.
Well, and you hadn't even.
I hadn't really came out to the public yet.
You hadn't came out to me yet.
When I booked the show?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Because you told me when you asked me to start using he, him pronouns, you said that you got comfortable being on set of
it was like a safety net. Like
because he got to put what pronouns he preferred and he had not told anyone yet that he wanted he, him pronouns. And so
I was still living this like I'm androgynous life where it was like I knew that it was fake.
Yeah.
Kind of in a fake in a way.
That like gave him kind of the confidence.
Yeah. I was able to like say it to strangers, you know. I feel like it's easier to like say random shit to strangers. So you're just like I didn't really know anybody. Then it was cool for people to see me and stuff like that.
That's like when you're on stage and you know, like your family and friends are in the audience. You're like, I'm so nervous. But if you go in front of 10,000 strangers, you're like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I just know I'm gonna nail it.
Yeah.
And what was cool about Transparent too is a lot of the cast was trans or non-binary, which was cool. But
and I got to meet a lot of cool people who are similar.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
You guys, we're crazy. Like we have the coolest, in my opinion.
We travel all around the world as well, doing what we love.
Yeah.
And we're so fortunate. We all did, train our booties off, whether that was in Michigan, Ohio, Utah, the Bay Area. And that's what all kind of brought us out to LA. And I'm so proud to have LA in our name. I think it's really cool to represent the West Coast because we're the best
hub.
coast.
The hub.
Sorry,
LA is
Garrett's
the hub.
burping. Garrett is the gassiest person I know.
I can't. I don't know.
We need a Pepto-Bismol ad. So
No more
please send the
I'm
pink
really-
No more
stuff.
seltzers for you.
Yeah, I'm really hearing an antacid commercial. Come on.
Beano.
Well, you guys, I think this is like the perfect timing to go into our first segment. So we're going to talk about you guys every week about coming out stories, whether that's you and you want to do it anonymously or you want to just say your handle. DM us on Instagram at PridehouseLA. Tell us your stories. We'll be talking about either people in the media, people in the industry, people we've heard, or share your stories. We're going to eventually have some call-ins for you guys to talk about
Ooh,
it.
I can't wait to talk to you.
Well, message us on
Yes.
Instagram, message us on TikTok, message us on YouTube.
Message us.
You can get a hold of us. We're here.
But
And we're queer.
For today, we're going to tell our coming out story.
Probably like Cliff Notes though, because those stories could be long.
Who wants to go first?
Well, I went first last
Nose
time.
goes.
So
No, you go first, Kent.
No.
Well, Jeka just talked.
You were last. Mollee was last.
Jeka's not even touching his nose.
oh look, it's Kent's last.
Kent.
No.
Kent, yours is the sweetest. Go.
I came out of the closet when I was 22 years old, which was a great time. I do have like a bit of a upbringing in religion, as we all kind of have that biblical sense in the States of America. Somehow there's very Christianity is a big thing here in the States, and so that wasn't really following my parents so much. They were pretty open and very welcoming to kind of everything, but my brother kind of was the one that had this really strong biblical sense, and that kind of was the only thing that frightened me. But when I told my parents, I literally had everyone in the living room at the same time. It was my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, and my brother's wife. And I remember thinking, like, I was sitting on this tweed chair, and it was like, it's almost like when you're dating someone, and it's like before you make this big moment where the air comes out of the room, and I'm just like, fuck. I'm going to tell them, like, I'm just going to say it. Like, I think that they know already. Like, I just need to say this. Because at the time I had a boyfriend and I wanted him to come to Christmas for the first time. I wanted to be at home. And it's just like it's so hard even sometimes to do family matters without a partner when you look around and my sister's now married, my brother's now married.
Right.
You just kind of feel a little left out. So I was like, I'm gonna do this. And the air sucked out of the room and I was just like, hey, you guys, there's something I need to tell you. Can we all sit down? So I could kind of like gather the energy. And I just kind of told them. And I was like, hey, I'm gay. I'm in a relationship. I've been like this since I was, can recall. Like I was telling them like I was having relationships with guys when I was 16 and X, Y, and Z. And my dad was like, okay, I knew. I had a computer in my room. And so I guess apparently I wasn't as good at wiping
They saw one of Garrett's scenes from
they saw King Cobra.
Cobra.
And he kind of knew. The one that didn't actually know was my mother. She was like, wow, I thought you liked girls, because I did have girlfriends growing up and I was active with them and I really did enjoy the time that I spent with them. There wasn't, it was definitely a place where I was kind of experimenting with both and not really, fully kind of committing to it until I was on So You Think You Can Dance, or I was on my own out in LA. But I told them, and then my sister wrote this beautiful message to me, how she kind of felt sad that, that I had to hide this, but then so proud and so happy that I was letting her in now. So it's so accepting and it was lovely and it was easy. And now they're just the coolest. Like it doesn't even matter to them what the gender is. They just want to see me happy. And I'm just so thankful for them.
I love that. That's a good one. Aww. Okay, I'll go with my coming out story. So I was a nervous wreck, like terrified.
How old were you?
I was, okay. So I had told, I have an older sister from my dad's side of the family, and she had a girlfriend when I was 16. I remember being like, oh, that's kind of hot. Like, I kind of like a girl, you know what I mean? But I never really had a girlfriend. I had crushes and stuff like that, but it was never really a thing. In Utah, you don't really see that so much. I grew up in Utah, so it was kind of, I didn't really know what that was. I knew there was gay boys because of dance, but that's really kind of it. Yeah, and then at 18, I had told, during So You Think, I had told my best friend Noelle that I was bisexual, and I told Kayla Rodomsky that I was bisexual. And then I was just like, that was kind of my leeway into being like,
Wow,
hey, I'm
similar.
gonna.
I mean, mine happened on So You Think too. Interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, this is my leeway into being able to say like, hey, like I think I'm lesbian. So then I started dating my ex-girlfriend, and I had dated like guys before too, and I was in very toxic relationships, but then I was dating my ex-girlfriend, and Jeka and I had met in 2009, and we always kind of had like a little bit of a thing.
She loved me.
No, you were, well, yeah, but you definitely were persistent. Like Jeka would text me a lot. Much.
Oh my God. Would you leave him on red?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So much that
Fire.
the guy that I was dating at the time, when I was sleeping, went into my phone, deleted Jeka from my phone, deleted Jeka off Facebook, everything. So, so I was dating this girl.
They say.
And so it was like back and forth banter between Jeka and I for years. And then we kind of cut it off because Jeka wrote me this like long message. I think he was drunk. It was like 2 a.m. Just like, you're a heartbreaker. Don't ever talk to me.
She was leaving me on red.
But Jeka said I would always give him just enough to show.
And she knew what she was doing. She was playing me.
No, I was also in a relationship.
As they all do.
No, okay. So anyway, so Jeka and I like would run into each other at like random places. But it would just kind of be like a little more awkward. We actually ran into each other at a carnival, and he was standing right behind me.
No, she walked right past me like I was a ghost.
And then,
Bitch, I'm a ghost.
Yeah, literally. I was like, she just
so
walked
Jeka
right
texted
past
me
me
and goes, oh, you're not going to say hi? And then I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, I didn't think you'd remember me. And he was like, how could I forget those eyes?
Boom. My jaw.
Eyes are the
Okay,
windows
so
to the
anybody
soul.
that-
That's all been happening. And then we didn't talk for a little while. And I officially was like done with the guy I was dating. We had been on and off for like the past like
Is there a
couple
boot
months.
sound? Is there like
Yeah,
a
a fart noise.
Yeah.
A throw up noise.
Officially done with the guy you're dating.
Yeah.
Kerplunk.
Yeah, kerplunk. Anyway, so I was kind of out of it. It was toxic. Like it was done because
It's
no
bad.
more games. So I was like, sweet. You know what? I'm going out and I'm gonna date. Dated this girl, and she was the first girl I really dated, and so it was kind of like really like full force right away. And she lived in Philadelphia, and I was at actually my best friend's house, who was another lesbian couple, Zane and Allie.
Hey.
And we had been dating for I think maybe like a month or so or something, and Jeka texted me a Venmo app and
Cute.
Venmo app
Oh my God,
request.
no one uses Venmo
Yes, through
to
Venmo.
communicate.
And
What
It was an accident.
So I go.
Fate, some say.
yes.
So I said, okay, either I can text Jeka back and be like, okay, I've been dating this person for like a month. Because I know once we start talking, but I also stalked his Instagram and he also had a girlfriend. So if we start talking, we both have to end our relationships and be together. So we started, well, I said, hey. And then
She's a horse. Hey.
A casual hey.
I was like, I need Jeka to know I'm dating a girl because this is Jeka pre-transition. I need Jeka to know I'm dating a girl. So Jeka goes, how have you been? And I said, oh, good, just dating a girl. And Jeka's famous
I don't know what to say.
goes, you're dating a girl and it's not me. And I was like, so I texted I said, hey, I think we need to break up. Then Jeka and I started dating. And then that's when, what was the story
You
about?
had to tell your mom and you were going to come out. We forgot.
So I got so excited to tell people about Jeka.
Heat wave.
So I was dating.
Some heat from her
I
undercarriage.
was dating my ex.
It was actually steamy.
No, okay.
Very
so
moist.
she was at my house. Okay, this all happened within a matter of like a couple weeks. But she was at my house, and I invited my family over for.
She's going to hear this and be like, that's what happened?
And so we were having like this barbecue and swimming, and I pulled my mom out in the backyard, and I said, hey, I need to talk to you about something. I need you to have my back. I need you to support me and love me no matter what. He said, I'm going to tell you something that's probably going to shock you, and I need you to not react in a bad way. And then she said, okay.
She
I
probably
said,
was freaking out.
yeah, because my mom is like, she freaks out. She's super hyper emotional. She's amazing. And so I said, the girl that's here is my girlfriend. And she started sobbing. She goes, I thought you were going to say you were on drugs.
Oh, she was happy.
Yeah. So then it was fine. She like acted like it was okay because obviously was like there. She was like literally there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay, cool. My mom's happy with it. And then whatever. Then we break up, and then it was Jeka and I was like, hey, I need you to meet Jeka. And my mom was like, why? And I was like, I think you know why. She was like, no, I don't. I just met this other person. I was like, this is my new one.
My new honey one.
Molly's just reeling them in one at a time.
And she kind of had a panic attack for a second. We didn't talk for a couple months. And then now we're like best friends, and she like is Jeka's #1 advocate, like a walking trans flag. I feel like. Go, baby.
I came out, well, okay. Let's go from the top here. I came out, I didn't really have to come out to my parents. I was at work. I used to work at a bowling alley. I worked in the cafe.
Jeka's a
Oh, I've seen him bowl.
bowler.
I wanted to
He's
be a
so good.
professional bowler.
Are you a really good bowler?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was on a
Yeah,
bowling team.
I was on a bowling team. That means I was
Did you
a
have a
good bowler.
spiral, like one of those spin
Yeah.
hooks? Oh,
I
I
had,
love this.
I had
Did
the
you know
equipment.
that-
I had shoes.
There's like wax at the end
I like
There-
was full
where?
out. Yeah, I
On the
wanted to be a
bowling alley.
bowler.
It's
Like I was like,
why?
I'm gonna make money
to
bowling.
make the bowl.
Wait,
balls.
Jeka, I need to. Why is there wax at the end?
It's not wax. It's oil.
Oh, oil.
For what?
Sexy.
Isn't it already rolling?
Well, the ball.
The
All of a sudden,
The bowling
sorry, I'm going to
ball.
Boston tomorrow. I have
Gotta
to
get
work
ready.
on my accent. The ball spins like it doesn't roll like as it's moving. It's spinning on, and it's supposed to create friction or heat, right? And then at some point, there's a dry spot on the lane, so it's like oil, and there's a dry spot, and that causes the inner weight inside of the ball to like tip over,
The inertia.
and that's what
He knows,
causes
like,
the
the
like
mathematics
curve,
of
And that's how you came out?
and that's how I came out. When my ball went left and I wanted it to go right.
Hey.
And that's when I knew. No, I was at work and the girl that I was dating had just broke up with me. So I was crying at work.
Oh, at the bowling alley.
At the bowling alley, I worked in the cafe, and my father was obviously worked there too. And I don't know what, he must have called my mom because all of a sudden my mom showed up because I was probably hysterical. I don't know. And I
He
didn't,
loves deeply.
yes, I didn't say anything, but my mom, she was like talking to me like it's going to be okay. And she was like, it's okay. There are other girls. And at that time I was like, wait, what? Like, I never said like, hey mom, at the time, like I'm a lesbian. She just like came up and was like, it's okay. There'll be other women or whatever she said. I'm like, that's crazy. She just like knew without having, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was
If we could
quite
put flashes
obvious.
of Jeka.
I'm like, if you look at my Instagram, I like posting those pictures. Nobody knew my
Yeah.
pictures. So that was fun. I came out as a lesbian, and then I came out again 2 years ago as transgender, which I think was Yes, applause.
Where's it?
Applause.
Where's the applause? Do the
Wait,
applause.
Hey, guess who's gay?
Which was much harder, I think, because it was really being like, okay, this is my true self. So I feel like really having to like speak about that, because I knew that like coming out as a lesbian, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I knew that wasn't really me anyways. So then coming out as trans, I think was much harder because it was like me. And I remember talking, there was, I forget what Pride, it was one Pride month, I think it was 2019 Pride, and Mollee was like crying. And she's like, I feel like this is your first Pride where you actually are proud of who you are.
Aww.
And I was like, we just like sat in the kitchen and cried. Like, this is so beautiful. But yeah, I have 2 coming out stories. And here we are.
How was your family with the second coming out?
I was surprised that they were very open to it. Obviously, they have a lot of questions. I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about being transgender versus like being obviously a lesbian or like same-sex couples and stuff like that. Because there's so many like I don't know, where I feel like, because even for me, I still feel like I'm learning a lot about like like trans people, especially like trans men. Like,
I feel like it was
a lot of
even like
information.
kind of like easier for your mom, because everyone always would call Jeka Juliet's son, and like, which obviously now is appropriate, but at the time, like it made
she would get so
Juliet
uncomfortable
because she was like,
she didn't know how to be like, yeah, well, because I would show up to church. You know, my mom's super Catholic, and I'd show up, and people would be like, "Oh, is this your son?" At the time, like maybe years ago, and my mom would just be like, I don't know, like, you know, she wouldn't know what to say, you know, like, and I would just be like, "Hi, I'm Jack," like I try to like intersect, but now they'd be like, "Oh, is this your son?" And she'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it's so cute.
Your mom is so nice too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's like the best Filipino lady ever. Like she's always cooking. She's always forcing us to eat. There was one time we were vegan during Jeka's top surgery, and she got like 2 like huge baskets of chicken to cook, and we were like, we're not gonna eat that.
like,
She was like, we got a deal, and we're like, we're not gonna eat it.
She likes the deals. She likes to have a
we were
deal.
vegan.
Did you eat it?
No.
I just sat again, and I felt so bad. But, well, I just feel like that's also something that makes us so special in this group, is like everyone's stories are so different, and but also so wholesome at the same time. Like the coming back to like who you are. And like, even though like we didn't try to impress anybody, it was just like we kind of stuck to like who we were as people. And
Yeah.
And I mean, like, and I know for me, I mean, like, I felt like I had to wait until I was financially stable, and having that even privileged of being financially stable is I'm so lucky. And then on top of that, to have a family that was accepting, I was so, again, privileged and lucky, because not everyone's story is like ours. Like there are so many people out there who are still scared, who can't, and feel like they can't make decisions until they have the proper income, or there's so many, you know, outliers to what it is. And we're excited to hear what
whether
you
it's
have to say.
safety or whether it's like you said,
country you're
financial,
living in.
with the laws that may hurt or help or hinder you in living the lifestyle that makes you feel authentic.
And so much fear. There's, you know, like, I think it's getting better, and I hopefully this is a space where we can kind of help, you know, destroy some of that fear. But I think that's the end goal, is to feel a place where we don't have to come out.
Yeah, if any of you guys, like we said earlier, have stories that you want to share, whether you want to do anonymous or you want us to share your, you know, your name or your Instagram handle, please go to our direct messages on Instagram or TikTok.
Comments
YouTube,
anywhere.
Comments on there. And we will contact you and just say like how you'd like us to approach it.
Yeah, if you want us to say your handle, we're happy to, you know, put you in the forefront of your story. And if you want us to do round robin reading it off, like it really is, we want to make sure you feel like you're supported and your story being told.
That's what Pride House LA is, guys. That's what Pride House podcast is.
Okay, so my coming out story, when I was a boy, no, I'm kidding.
I was a young lad.
I mean, pretty people, you know, they always like assumed, or like, I remember getting, oh God, that sounds depressing in my head. I remember getting teased in elementary school, and they would call me Gay Girl Gary. And
that's such a cool name.
Yeah.
It's cool now.
Well, yeah, but not in the movie.
Not in the 90s when you're in elementary school and people hit you with plastic bats and chant Gay Girl Gary.
Oh
who are these people? We got to find
Send
them.
their address.
What school did you go to? What year?
Kill them.
But
with love,
for legal reasons, that was hypothetical.
Everything I say
them with love
is
and
not
support.
true.
The welts make me stronger. So no, and if It was kind of, I feel like I have like good stories from telling people in my life and also like sad ones. But I guess I officially came out when I was 16. I probably started experimenting secretly when I was like 12.
Yeah.
With a couple friends who will remain nameless because they're living their lives.
We love that.
And I remember pulling my mom aside when I was in my room and I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And, you know, she had just got done trying to give me like the talk about sex. Being like, this pillow is a woman's body. And I was like, we have to talk about something.
That pillow is not a woman's body.
You're like, I don't care about
I see
that.
a penis on that pillow. So I was like, I have to tell you something. And she was like, okay. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but let me fix the mic. So I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but she was like, okay, well, whatever it is, I love you no matter what. And I was like, thank you. I love you too. I'm gay. And she was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, okay, how do you feel about this? She's like, of course I know it. I'm your mother. Do you want to go to the movies still or not? No. And so I was like, oh, that made it feel great.
Like, can we go to a gay movie?
Yeah, right? Meanwhile,
Billy Elliot.
I got really drunk. I don't condone underage drinking. It happens. I'm not the example. It
happens. Yeah.
If you were in Europe, it'd be okay.
We're here to be honest.
Yeah. I was, if I'm being honest, I remember, and then when I told my biological father, it was on 4th of July, I got wasted. I was sitting and so do you have, I don't know if you had these in your states because we're all from a different state. Yeah. You know how there's like the little trenches in front of like a house? So in case somebody's like car goes off the road, it falls into the ditch instead of driving into your home.
Yeah.
So I remember drinking in one of those. And I was crying, telling my friend's dad, and I was like really, really drunk. And I was like, I don't know how to tell him, and I think he's gonna hate me. And she was like, no, he'll be fine. So I told him, and I was sobbing, and he kind of had this like shocked look, and he was patting my back really like staccato, and it was like, it's gonna be fine. But I could feel like it wasn't. And then later it was like this big blow up about how upset he was about the whole thing. And like, he like, actually it was when I was during my first movie, I booked my first role in a movie and it was my last day on set.
How old were you?
It was the same year. It was like, I was 16 years old. And he pulled, and I remember, you know how it is, like last day on set, they're always trying to cram as much that
8 hours long.
Yeah. It's like the longest day on set is the last day of set. Anything they missed, any pickups, anything, they want to get it all. Yeah. And so I was like probably an hour and a half late off, and he was like, and he was texting me and he was like, I'm going to pull you out of that fucking soundstage if you don't get your fucking ass out of there. And so I was like, oh, I'm really scared. So I get in the car and we get into this huge fight. And then it turns out not to even be about me being late from set. He starts screaming at me about how he wishes I wasn't gay and how he wished I didn't tell him and how like all these things. And like then 2 weeks later, he moved to Florida with my stepmom, with my little sister. And I was like, and then that felt like,
you're probably like,
and I was like, oh no, it's because of me. It's because I'm gay. And now, and then I was already getting like tortured at school because people thought I was, and they were like vandalizing my house, or they were trying to fight me in the parking lot, or they were like making fake MySpace accounts, and MySpace was a thing. And there was these fake MySpace accounts that literally were titled faggot. And I did end up finding the Newfound Glory version of Kiss Me because of that. And I thank my bullies for that, because that song is amazing and I still listen to it till this day.
Yeah. It's your workout song. It's your anthem.
It is. It's my anthem. And so and then my brother was sobbing about it because he was sad that I was, and I was like, you're more upset about it than me. Like I'm cool about it. Right. Like I'm happy about it. You don't. And he was like, I'm just so. I think he had like these expectations or something, and so we're estranged because he doesn't believe that I should have the right to be married.
But he just got married.
And I just got married.
Shout
So
out to
fuck
that.
you.
That's an applause.
Yeah, that's an applause for sure.
And so and it's kind of like, you know, Jeka.
I hate when people think that.
I know.
Yeah.
And
I'm down to for sure have some conversations with people who think that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But you know what? I did actually from like 16 to 19. I had a fake ID from my friend Tony, who's really super Arabic looking. Like I'm Lebanese, but everybody thinks I just look really white, and that's okay. Yeah. And that's cool. That's totally like, it is what it is. Like I'm like, I'm an international super spy. Super spy. And so that, but
I definitely just thought you were white.
yeah, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And so
I knew you weren't with that booty. And how much he sweats.
Well, and my friend Tony ended up giving me his ID. And so I had this whole club phase when I was 16 to 19. And I had no gay friends. And I came out to my friend Ron, who was like one of the few gay people that we were like little kids and we were friends. We both happened to be gay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gay, but I don't know any gay people. And he was like, come with me and my friends to the club. And he had just graduated.
Yeah.
So I had this wild and crazy, like, I had my whole club phase when I was a teenager and nobody
Wait,
knew
so
it.
like when you turn 21, you're like, I don't even need it anymore.
No, literally, I literally didn't need it because I was like, like shout out to Necto. Sorry, I tricked you. But like, I went to this club and it was 3 stories like down into these basements. And I remember going into the red room.
Sounds like Puerto Rico.
Well, when I booked Teen Beach Movie, I had to call all my friends from those club days and be like, I need you to get rid of those pictures of me dancing naked on the bar.
Yeah.
Naked, Johnny's out.
Like, well, no, like I was like in underwear, but like I just was like, I just booked a Disney Channel
dancing.
movie and I was 20 years old.
Yep.
I couldn't have photos of me being a club kid, ripping my clothes off, dancing sexy on the bar.
And we got scared. I know like a lot of us were like doing damage control really quick.
And there was photos of me in dresses and makeup and stuff. And I had to call those friends and be like, I can't have that online because I'm scared about my job, which I will say.
Clean this look up, I guess, is what Disney wanted. Yeah.
Well, but Disney didn't ask me to do it because I didn't want anyone to know that I had those things.
Yeah.
I was
you
scared
didn't want to lose the opportunity.
Yeah, because and that was the same time like I went back in the closet because of Hollywood and because of expectations and representation.
And you got a huge role who was played a cisgender man in a movie.
And so then I had to go back in the closet and I remember we were all friends through that. And multiple people in our cast have come back to me years later being like, oh, I found it hard to get close because I didn't really feel like I knew you.
Yeah.
And I always thought you were nice, but I didn't feel like I knew who I couldn't get a read on who you were.
Yeah.
Because I felt like
most of the majority of the dancers in that, I mean, were queer. Like Teen Beach was filled with.
Yeah, it should have been called Queer Beach Movie.
Yeah, I mean, we did make all the lyrics gay when we were shooting, remember?
Yeah.
I know what girls like me.
Yeah.
Like I know what boys like me.
Boom, baby.
Yeah.
And we made all the lyrics. Shout out to Grace Phipps for making the lyrics amazing.
Miss you, Grace. Miss you, Layla.
We love you.
Give me back that time traveling necklace.
And so then I ended up coming out a few years later after Blake and I had been secretly dating since 6 months after I moved to Hollywood.
Crazy.
And like the whole Teen Beach phase, I was like just secretly like, because when I got the talk from my reps, me and Blake made up this whole thing where it was like, well, because my actual name is legally Gary.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to change my name, but also hide who I was. And so I was like, well, if I have to change my name, then maybe I can make that name a character so I can protect like morally.
Like a drag persona.
Yeah. It kind of felt like
opposite.
And I remember I had people coaching me like walking down Rodeo Drive and like changing the way I walked, or like I would
sounds like a dance exercise.
or like I like changed the tone of my voice so then I would talk a lot lower normally and I would like be this guy and I was all like I would like hunch my shoulders a lot more and just be like kind of like bored.
It's just so interesting what the industry will. I mean, like what
you like had to play straight in real life, like play straight.
Well, even like
That's
Jeka
crazy.
has like not booked commercials because they were like, you don't look trans enough.
I know when somebody told me that I was like, huh?
You know how many gay
How do
roles
you
I've lost
look-
out on because they're like, we need someone who's more gay. I'm like, you're not gonna find gayer than this.
You're like, what are you talking
literally
about?
a
What does that
fairy.
mean?
I'm literally a floating fairy.
Yeah, a farting floating fairy.
Farting floating fairy.
Floating fairy. Well, guys, I'm proud of all of us. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all just freaking queer superstars, and now
Queer
people love us for being queer rather than trying to.
And we
hide
love
us
each
ever.
other for being queer.
Yes,
That's right.
and rather than put us in a little box.
There are no limits.
There are no limits. All right, guys. Well, we are going to take a very quick little break, but when we come back,
Yeah, I got a fart break.
we are going to get to know each other a little bit better with some games we like to call Never Have I Ever and Would You Rather. I thought this is going to get really interesting with Kent. So make sure you come right back and we'll play the games and see you in just a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to Pride House Podcast. Yeah.
Wow.
That was good
I did not know
timing.
that was gonna be on cue, but I'm so proud.
I loved that. We should do
Right
that every
before
time.
we left you, we promised you a little fun and possibly a little, some dirty secrets revealed.
Some scandalous shit.
We're gonna
Would you rather
expose.
and Never Have I Ever?
I think we're gonna start with Would You Rather, and I'm gonna do some rapid fire questions for Garrett, Jeka, and Mollee. And I just want first instincts. Don't think.
Okay,
we can just start with
I'm
Garrett.
scared. You're freaking me
It doesn't matter, just say it, but try not to overlap.
One at a
Each
time.
person in a row, or do
So
we all
we'll
answer at the
we'll
same
start
time?
with you, Garrett. We'll go.
Garrett.
And then you have to say yours too.
Okay, here we go.
I'm nervous.
Would you rather be shot into space, or explore the deepest depths of the sea?
I was gonna say something like that. Space.
You go.
Space.
Space.
Ocean.
Nice. Would you rather lose the ability to read or the ability to speak?
Read.
Read.
Speak.
Speak.
Would you rather know where when you're going to die or how you're going to die?
When?
When?
When I definitely don't want to know how. That's scary.
I'm scared of death.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Guys,
Would you rather have psychic powers or the ability to remember every fact you learn?
Psychic powers.
I think psychic powers.
It's not like a part of it
I
was
feel
like you
like
can't remember
I
anything.
do psychic too.
Psychic, yeah.
Okay, fine. This one's a good one. This is a good one.
You ready?
Would you rather have a driver take you everywhere or a private chef who makes all your meals?
Private chef.
Yeah, chef, for sure. Sorry.
A driver. I love cooking. Don't cook for me.
Chef.
No, but you can cook me for me if you want.
Okay,
last one.
Okay.
Would you rather have to wear a bib every time you got out to eat or drink? Or you would always drink from a sippy cup every time you were at the bar? So wear a bib every time
Sippy
you
cup
ate.
is kind of sexy.
Actually, I love a sippy cup because that means nothing ever gets on my outfit.
I'll wear a bib.
Yeah,
I'm cool with a bib. I don't want to get
I think
nothing on
I'll
my
wear a
shirt.
bib too,
I'm
because if-
definitely notorious for if I'm wearing a white shirt, guaranteed I'm spilling something on that.
Sippy cup is like.
I'm
Like play. I don't know.
I am down for a sippy cup.
Okay,
I like a sippy cup too,
Yeah,
but
Lala can't use sippy cups and bottles to make her.
You know what?
But I'm
think
worried about
I-
lines. I'm worried about sucky lines.
No, see,
That's terrible.
think
for
about
you,
it this
okay?
way.
I don't think that's how you're gonna get
Yeah,
sucked
that's
in.
not
water
gonna
bottle.
work. The biggest.
Okay, wait, stop. This is
Okay,
wait, one more.
Okay,
Since you guys
you
are
said
pet.
that last
No, I
time.
lied because all three of these people, I have a cat and they all have dogs. So this is a pet question.
Blech.
Would you rather your pet be able to speak to you but not understand what you're saying, or your pet understand every word you say but not able to speak?
Can't they already understand what we say and not speak?
No, we don't know that.
Yeah, we do. They know that dogs can
So which
understand.
one?
Like, up
Would
to,
you
like, 150
rather
words or
hear
something.
your pet, or would you rather have your pet understand everything you said?
Like they can if I was like,
That was kind of a twisted. So like,
Yeah,
so,
Listen again.
okay, sorry.
Would you rather your pet be able to speak to you but not understand what you're saying?
Oh, I would.
Or
They can talk
your
to
pet
me.
understand every word you say but not able to speak. So I guess the second part is already what's happening. They can understand you but they can't speak. Or
I
would
would
you rather
want,
have
I would want
have
them
you
to
speak?
speak to me because I could give them like love.
I
like,
want my dog to talk to me.
Yeah,
You
I
would
want-
know.
want that?
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to hear their voices, but I also
I'm scared.
I feel like being able to communicate with them keeps them out of
I feel
harm's
like
way a
Mumford
lot.
wouldn't talk to you.
Not being able.
No, like being able,
Mumford
like
is-
them understanding like verbal communication.
Yeah.
That I talk to them, like don't eat certain things, don't run into the street, like
Right.
me telling them to stop from killing themselves in that regard, like
Right.
that's
Kent
there's like
has-
a lot of safety there.
Kent has a grumpy cat. His name's Mumford. I don't feel like he would really
Persian.
talk to.
I like
Mumford is so sweet. He's
Okay,
like
let's
a
do
dog.
more. Would
Okay,
you
Yours
rather?
one,
I know.
Go, babe.
you have one of the
babe.
cats I like.
thank you.
Okay. I always say this one just because I think it's funny. Okay. Would you rather have uncontrollable orgasms just like all day long or uncontrollable diarrhea?
Oh, orgasms, easy.
Why would
Just all day, like
Why would I want diarrhea?
That sounds great. The DMV would be way better.
Hey, I kind of like diarrhea. We can get some skinny.
I
Oh
feel like I already have
my
diarrhea every day.
that
yeah,
part.
yeah, Garrett does.
People are gonna listen to this and be
But
like,
a
I used
constant
to
orgasm
think
all
he
day
wasn't
would
this
be.
bad.
That's way easier.
well,
That's terrifying.
my other go-to one is this is kind of scary, but it's okay. So the other one that I always use is, would you rather get paper cuts all over your body and dipped into some rubbing alcohol, or break a light bulb in your mouth? Like
Light bulb.
Light bulb.
light bulb. Meatball.
Okay. Would you rather?
I have a bunch written down. Are you just pulling them off your head?
Yeah. No, I have a good one. Okay.
We'll see about that.
Okay. Would you rather be able to? Okay. Would you?
She already has uncontrollable orgasms.
Not,
Jeka
Okay.
is literally
not mine.
Jeka's eyebrows raised.
Doing-
Okay.
Sorry, Thursday.
Yeah, sorry, Mom and Dad. Jeez. Okay, would you rather have $1 million but could never buy anything you want, or have no money but be gifted everything?
Oh my
So you get free
gosh.
things whenever
So no
you
matter
want.
what, I get what I want.
I want to be rich.
I mean, I
That
don't.
sounded so much better in my head.
Okay, I have one real quick. Would you rather be the funniest person in the room or the most intelligent person in the room?
Funniest.
Intelligent.
Funny, for sure.
Funny.
Funny.
Would you rather pee out your eyes or poop out your mouth?
Okay, let's think. Pee out my eye.
Probably pee out of my eye.
Pee out of my eye.
Okay. Would you rather shake? Why did I write these things? Would you rather shake a hive of bees and stand still for 30 seconds, or brush your teeth with an old pile of poo and you can't throw up?
Bees, I think. I don't want poop in my mouth.
Yeah, bees. For 30
You could get
seconds.
that E. coli.
That doesn't mean they're gonna sting me. That just means I have to
Yeah,
stand there.
honeybees I'm good, but
Yeah.
wasps. no.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, next. Would you rather go undercover for a crime you didn't commit as an undercover reporter for a month in jail, or would you rather be stranded on an island alone for a month?
With Abby Lee
Island.
Miller.
And you don't get any supplies. You have to figure it out. You just have to figure it out if you're on the island.
Island. I would
Island,
love
for
that. That
sure.
sounds
Jail. I
Survivor.
drop my soap.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Naked and Afraid? I feel like I would win that show. Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, I have seen Naked.
I feel like I can do it.
Okay.
could
Would
fish.
you rather go skydiving alone from the highest altitude a plane can drop you from, or would you rather deep sea dive into the deepest crevasse and you also have to do that alone?
Alone. Both
You
alone?
cannot. You
Both
have to do
alone?
both alone.
Sky jump, whatever you said.
Skydive alone.
Skydive.
They're all alone, so it doesn't matter.
That's
but like
true,
it's
both are
either
alone.
it's either jump in the sky or go in the sea.
Yeah.
Skydive.
But you have to either go really deep or you have to jump from really high.
I would do skydive. I'm kind of scared of what we haven't discovered in the ocean yet. 70% of the ocean we haven't
The
discovered.
megalodon or whatever.
Cool, though. I want to see it.
That's terrifying.
Okay.
There has to be.
Would you rather? Why did I put this? Would you rather be murdered on American Horror Story or Scream Queens?
Ooh, this is a great one.
Scream Queens? Book me.
American Horror Story.
American Horror Story is more interesting.
Actually, yeah, I kind of like American Horror.
I
Actually,
picked
I've never
American Horror
seen
Story
Scream
season
Queens.
1.
Oh wow, I picked The Coven.
Okay, should we move
Coven
into
is
Never
good.
Have I Ever?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's gonna start? Okay,
Never.
so if
I'll
you're
start.
watching at home and
Listening.
it's or
In the
watching
morning.
on IGTV or YouTube or anything, if you're listening, and it is nighttime for you, and you want to grab a
And
little
you're not
drink,
riding in a vehicle.
and you're not riding in a
A
vehicle,
little-
or if you're riding in a vehicle, grab your little Starbucks
Yeah.
or your Awa, and every time that you have not done it,
Or your
you
Red
take
Bull.
a sip. Or your Red Bull, yeah, thanks.
Or your
Red Bull.
water.
Never have I ever
It's
broken
just
up someone's
water.
relationship.
So you drink
Like
if you
someone
haven't.
else's.
You drink if you have.
Okay,
Drink if you have.
I have never.
Broken up someone
I have
else's
never.
relationship.
I have to think about it.
I was like, let me think. I don't,
You kind of broke up.
You
mine.
broke up with
and you kind of broke up mine. I'm just kidding.
All right.
No, the girl I was dating was cheating on me.
Cheers.
She cheated
Hey,
on me.
true
With,
love.
she cheated on me with one of my friends and then married him.
Same
Which
with
is fine.
Jeka.
I
Oh.
think I have.
That's what Jeka
They're
did.
happy, and I love that. That's great.
Here's one. Never have I ever gotten a tattoo.
Okay, that's what you don't have any
Okay.
tattoos, kid?
I don't.
I don't either.
Wow.
I knew that.
I
we
have
would
lots of
expose-
I
tattoos.
feel
you
I
want
wanna-
any
so bad
tattoo
after
stories?
right now.
I was literally thinking the other day we should all go get a Pride House tattoo.
Would you guys like that? Would you want to see that?
I have tattoos I've wanted to get. I just don't know why. I just haven't been getting them.
Would you get a Pride House tattoo?
Yeah.
I do.
Would you get a
I do.
tattoo of Blake's
Would you get
face?
a tattoo?
Please.
My favorite tattoo.
I always want to get the Orion constellation right there for our dog that
Oh,
died.
you
Probably
should.
my
That's
husband
beautiful.
Of my
Yeah, I have one
brothers
with
and
my
sisters
two
in
best
the
friends we want to get that we want to put right there.
Yeah.
Okay, again, more. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever escaped from a date in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah, I have.
But you
I
have
think
to
we need
tell
more
the story.
context there.
It was literally a movie. Middle of the movie, bro. Left.
You did?
Would you say I'm going to go to the bathroom and then never come
I
back?
was like, I don't feel good. It was weird. It
I
was terrible. I
escaped-
hated
yeah.
myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
to
escaped
go.
before a date once, but not during it.
Excuse me.
Bless you. It was through online, and I went to go, and then he opened the door, and the house was like really creepy, and like there were like the shades were down, and there was like one beam of light in the dark,
Yeah.
and the pictures he sent weren't him. And I was like,
Catfish.
feel like I'm
I
gonna go.
think I'm going to die. So I said I left my phone in the car and I'd be right back. And I've never run faster.
Oh my God.
Wait, that leads me to a question. Okay. Never have I ever hooked up with someone from a social app like Tinder or Grindr.
Oh, I have.
Oh, cheers.
I mean, would you consider Venmo?
Okay, fine.
No.
Just kidding.
Mm-mm.
Wait.
I tried to cheers you. You ignored me.
I was laughing at Venmo.
Oh no, my drink's empty now.
Oh, we need
Gotta get a new one on the break.
Honestly, like I don't know how to even meet a guy without meeting them on an app.
Yeah, but you have a pretty dope boyfriend.
I know, and I met
Yeah.
him on an app.
You did?
Well, to be fair, in the age of COVID, it's not like
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
can
that
really
is
go
true.
out as much.
Yeah, and I really.
And MTV's Catfish is freaking lit. That show-
Okay.
Have any actual couples come out of that? Like people who've dated after the
I have
fact
no idea.
that they've
Let's
found out they were
contact
catfish?
Nev.
Sweating right now. He's got 800 pieces.
I've got a 12.
Okay, let's do one more. Never
12
have I
Walmart
ever
layers.
question.
I
Who's
have the
got it?
last. Oh,
Go.
Jack.
I don't have any, so.
Okay.
Never have I ever get ready to sip, bitches. Gotten married.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Well, I'll drink
Garrett,
your
yeah.
drink.
Cheers to
I wish.
Married. You're gonna be married soon.
So Sam, if you're listening,
Yeah, Sam, if you're listening, even though you're right
you're
outside
literally
the living
right
room.
outside the door.
Even if you're right outside the door,
Samantha,
and we
finish
hope
your
you don't hear
homework.
this.
Finish your homework.
Alrighty, guys. Well, this is going to be our last quick break. When we come back, we will be into our last segment.
Called colonics and cleanliness. I'm kidding. That's not real.
I was like, whoa. I don't even know what those words
Stay
mean.
tuned.
We're going to take this quick
About
break. We're
debates.
coming back with our final segment of Q&A where we answer your questions. So make sure you tune back in to see if we answer your question. And we're going to leave you one for the end.
Yeah, dance to this beat while you got a second too.
Yeah, bleep, bloop, blop.
Welcome back to Pride House Podcast, Queeros.
And allies. Okay, you guys. So every week we post on our Instagram and TikTok to ask you guys to ask us questions of what you want to be answered on our podcast.
And remember, nothing is off limits. We are an open book. So Garrett's going to be picking the question today. There were so many, but Garrett, can you just pick one?
Well, I was going to lead with another one, but I actually found one that I kind of like a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think it ties into today's episode.
Cute.
So,
Cutie.
CAITELINN, Katie Lynn asks.
At Katie Lynn, and this is on TikTok.
Yep.
All right, Katie Lynn on TikTok.
So we kind of answered the first part, but I think there's some good advice we could give on the second half. It starts off with, how did you guys come out to your families? We did answer that, but the second half is, I really want to come out to my family, but half of my family isn't accepting. So I think this could be a good lead in, and maybe we can give some constructive advice on how to safely handle being young and not knowing how to navigate this at the moment.
Yeah. I think it's everyone's personal journey. We're very big on individuality and why it could be safe for you to come out in that moment. For other people, it's just not safe. And I feel like you are kind of the dictator of your own journey. And I think if there's people who aren't accepting it, just don't force it on them. You know, don't force them to accept you. Just choose to say, you know what, I spoken my piece. I feel good with where I'm at. I don't need you to accept me because of how happy I am and nurturing that part of me. And when you want to come around, I'll be here. Because it's also too, like you talk about, like we have to give our parents especially some time, you know, like if you come out or something, it's a change, you know what I mean? So like for them to just automatically switch sometimes can be hard for, you know, certain parents or family members. So giving them the respect to giving, you know, some time to process of what's going on. And there's other people who don't need all of that time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of everyone's own journey. I had to give my mom time. I did. I had to give her a couple months. We didn't talk for a couple months, and then she was supportive, but I couldn't make her accept me right away.
I know. I wish we could get to that place where it's just it's accepted no matter what. Like it's to me.
Yeah, you just get to be a person without there having to be a label.
Exactly.
I get so confused when people are unaccepting of love. Like I get so confused when someone tells me like who I can't love. I'm like, I'm not doing any harm to anyone. If anything, I'm making the world around me I'm just making everything better. Like there's no harm into it. So for me, I'm like, there is no, like, I want everyone to accept it right now. But I do hear you, Mollee. And that's like the biggest pill that I have to swallow, because there's something that I feel so true and so kind of honest to my being. But again, everyone's journey is so different, and all we can really do is offer a listening ear. But I really, really hope that you can start just feeling confident, whoever you are, about who you are and what you see, and start, RuPaul says it best. It's like, if you can't, you have to love yourself first. And this is the place where it's just like, we want to boost your booty up to make you feel beautiful, amazing, lovely with whoever you are.
Yeah, it's really important that you're not going on anyone else's timeline. If you are in a circumstance that maybe you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, or you don't feel supported, and you need to wait a little bit until you find whether it's a friend or a family member you can confide in and that you trust and that isn't going to share information that isn't theirs to share, and you have that person to confide in, that's amazing. And if you don't, and you don't feel safe, and you don't have that supportive unit, you have a family out there that is, the LGBTQIA plus family, and we all are just waiting for you to go on that path, go on that journey. And if you have to wait a little while because of your emotional or literal physical safety until you can either move out on your own, you can have a couple friends that are outside of the home, then that's okay too. There is absolutely no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Yeah.
No. And use your, we're talking about LA here. So we have an amazing LGBTQ center here. And it's about reaching out to those people who have the experience and who have the, if you have the privilege of talking to a specialist or someone who has the expertise in really guiding emotional journeys and understanding kind of different philosophies, do it. Reach out to people. Don't be afraid. Use social media. Connect with others that are like-minded and get that information and read those books and continue to just try.
And just really quick, I just want to, for anyone who is seeking any help and maybe doesn't have help at home and needs a number to call, we have the Trevor Project at 866-488-7386 and the Prevention Lifeline 800-273-8255. And online chat is available. So if you can't Google it, here's a couple resources that if you need help, these are some numbers to call. The Trevor Project is big on helping our young ones, our older ones, any phase of life that you're at, you have a place to call.
Yes. That was an awesome question. Thank you so much for commenting. We're going to be posting these every week, so make sure you get your questions in. You guys, we had an amazing first podcast. Woo!
Sorry if that hurt your ears.
Wow. Oh my gosh. If you guys like listening to us, watching us, please rate, review, and subscribe to Pride House Podcast on wherever you get your podcast. We are going to start leaving you guys off with questions of the week. So we're going to give you a question. And if you go on Apple Podcast review, comment what you think the answer is, and we will reveal next episode what the answer is. So who wants to ask the question?
Drum roll, please.
Not I. Nose goes. Jeka.
Go, babe.
The question of the week is going to be, what is Pride House's guilty pleasures?
So go to the Apple Podcast review section. Leave your comments on there. We're going to read them, but we're going to reveal it next episode. Thank you guys so much. We love you. It's a great day to be LGBTQIA.